everyone. I'm Carolyn Service from o2bstamping.com, and I want to thank you for stopping by. If you already follow me on YouTube, welcome back. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, I hope you'll subscribe. So today I want to show you a card that I made using this Bear Hugs stamp set. I have actually fallen head over heels for this stamp set, but I have to admit I do love bears. I actually have a collection of teddy bears, even though I am not age appropriate probably to collect teddy bears, but they give me some joy, so I just do it anyway. So I want to show you a few cards that I made using this set. And I love that it's got the little bear and the big bear, and it's got a little dress so you can make the big bear a mama bear. It's got a little top hat so you can make the bear a little, and a bow tie actually, so you can make it more masculine. And it has some really cute sayings to it as well. Let's show you a few cards that I've made using it. So my husband's a big time fisherman, so I gave him this for his birthday. Made him this for his birthday, I should say, and stuck it up. It was attached to like a little pocket with a big candy bar in it. And so on it says, "Wishing you a day full of sunshine and a lake full of fish." And it's just so fun to make. I really enjoyed making that one. Then we have the new layering framelits in our new catalog, and so I was playing with them and wanted to kind of make a picture frame and see how all of that would work. So again, this one I used the Papa Bear. Actually in this one I used the Papa Bear as well. And I know they look like totally two different bears just from the way that I colored them and the cardstock that I started out with. So this was stamped on vanilla, and this was stamped on crumb cake. And then another one that I made was this little Get Well Wishes card, because I'm always wanting to keep something like that on hand. And the one I'm going to show you today is a little welcome baby card. It says peekaboo to someone new, and actually I can't take credit for this card. I saw this card on another demonstrator site. Her name is Michelle Last, and I was lucky enough to be able to meet her at a recent convention that we had. She is from across the pond, so I don't get to see her often, but I follow her blog, and I just thought this was adorable, so I wanted to copy it. So I'm going to show you how to make this card. So some of you may remember that in our Spring Occasions catalog, we had this Woodlands embossing folder, and they sold out of them like in record time, and they were trying to get big inventory of them in again, but they just couldn't do it. So they were going to retire them, but because it was so popular, they brought them back. And I don't know if you can see the trees very well. Hopefully you can, but you can get an idea of what it looks like here with the trees. They sort of look like birch trees. So we're going to start out with a piece of cardstock. I'm using Whisper White that measures 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. Now you can make this card a couple of different ways. So the way I made this one is I just put the top of this in my sleeve, in my embossing folder, and embossed it like that. See this part sticking out? I ran it through my Big Shot this way. But then I've also made just the top and then added it to, okay, so like this for instance. Here's the top. It's cut just slightly smaller, and then I will put it on there with dimensionals, so it has like a little bit more body to the card. So you can do it either way. I'm going to actually show you this way today. So we're going to also need a piece of cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and that's what we're going to use to emboss. And then we also want a small piece of Whisper White that measures 3 by 2 1/4, and we're going to take just a tiny bit of adhesive, real tiny, just to keep it from slipping around. We're just going to attach that about right there. Okay, then we're going to just put that in the folder. Now, your folder is somewhat, oops, actually I was almost getting ready to do it wrong, is somewhat upside down. So where you're seeing the Sizzix here, that's actually the top of the trees. And the way you can tell that is by the branches. So they kind of go up this way. And so you want your top of your card to go into the embossing folder with the Sizzix upside down. Okay. And you also want to place it so that your tree, you can pick whichever one you want, but like for instance on this one, you want to be able to have enough room to add your teddy bear over here to the side. I think I've used the same tree on both of these. Yes, I did. Oh, maybe not. I'm not sure. But you get the idea anyway. So just make sure that you're leaving room. Pick out which tree you're going to use. I think I'm going to use this one right here. It's kind of a skinny tree. See this better. Oh, there we go. The skinny tree right here. And then I'll be able to put the teddy bear right there. Okay. Let me straighten that out a little bit. Make sure that your little inside piece is attached so it doesn't slide around. And I'm going to go put this through my my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Okay, so when you run that through the Big Shot, in case you're not too familiar with the Big Shot, it's gonna come with a multi-purpose platform. Now this one is actually an older one. I have not gotten the new one yet. I am planning to order it soon, but with a new catalog coming out, there's so much in there I want to get. I have to space it out a little bit. So I'm using the one that originally came with my Big Shot, and I'm opening tab 2 and putting my embossing folder and my cutting pads on tab 1. So cutting pad, embossing folder, the other cutting pad, and then you just leave this piece open and slide it right through the Big Shot. Okay, so we're going to take that piece out, and here is the embossed piece. There you go. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is to color the tree trunks. So I'm going to use my Early Espresso ink and a sponge dauber. Now with the sponge dauber, you just have to be kind of light-handed. So I'm going to take these two apart. Just be real light-handed. If you go to take these apart and they've stuck together, do not worry about that, because you're going to put it right back where this is. So see, it's tore a little bit, but it's going to be on dimensionals. Okay, so anyway, you're going to use Early Espresso and a sponge dauber. With the sponge dauber, you're just going to want to go very light, and you're going to want to mix it up a little bit. So put a little bit of ink on it, and then again, very lightly, you're going to want to just, you don't want to push down on it hard because it'll make a little circle if you do. You just want to kind of skim across to pick it up every once in a while even, and just color it in like so. Actually, I want to get a piece of scrap paper and put under that. There we go. And you're going to do that for each tree trunk. Now, when you get ready to do the branches, they're a little bit difficult to just do with the sponge dauber and not get the background, not get ink on the background. But if you do, just don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But the optimum is to not get ink in the clear white spaces in the back. And also, you might want to start like at different places, because wherever you start is going to be the darkest, and you don't want all your trees to look exactly alike. So you might want to start up here. If you're having a hard time staying on just the tree trunks too, you can use sort of the side of the sponge dauber, like that maybe. Does that make sense? And go back and add some color to that branch. See, right there, you might be able to see that I've kind of gotten it into the white area, which I didn't mean to do, but sometimes it just happens. It's hard not to. Okay, I think I like that. And you can actually add another color, like you could add soft suede and even make it more colorful if you wanted to. And we're going to do the little one the same way. All right, like that. Okay, now you're going to, oh, I need to leave that right there. You're going to take a small piece of paper. This one measures 3 by 2 1/4, it looks like. And you're going to stamp using, again, still the Early Espresso ink. This is just a scrap of paper. You're going to stamp your bear. You're going to stamp a little bouquet of flowers, and you want to make sure these are far enough apart that you can cut them out. No, I'm just kidding. The wonderful thing about this set is you don't have to cut them out. They actually have a framelit set that goes with this, and it is called the, let's see, Bear Hugs Framelits die. So it's got all of the framelits that go with the stamp set, so you have to love that, right? So I'm going to get out the little bear and the flower and also the little bow. Now you can easily make this into a little boy peekaboo or a little boy baby card, just by doing more blue than pink like I've done. You want to have your magnetic platform for your Big Shot, which I don't have here, so let me go get that. 1 minute. Seems like no matter how hard I try to remember all of the things that I'm going to need to do a video, it always seems like I leave something in my craft studio. Okay, so you're going to have magnetic platform. Well, you don't have to, but these are just wonderful. I highly recommend them. And you're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to put your framelits over top of your design. So nice. And flower. Now I will tell you, the magnets in the magnetic platform, it's not one big whole magnet. So they're placed different spots. So if you start to put your little framelits down and they want to skip around on you, that's what the problem is. So just move your paper a little bit. Also, this little bow, it actually goes in one direction. The bow itself is not the same size on one side as it is on the other, so just watch that. Okay, I think that's all ready to go through my Big Shot. Also, if you're not familiar with the magnetic platform, another thing you want to do is you want to have cutting pads that are not very warped. As flat as you can get them, they will work best. Mine are very well used. I do have some brand new ones that I couldn't get out, but I figure I'll just use these until I can't use them anymore. So be right back. Okay. All right. Those are the 3 elements that I need. So put this aside. And then the way that I colored the little bear was I didn't want it to just be like, I didn't want to color him with markers because he would just be real dark and sort of all the same shades. So what I did was I decided to take my sponge dauber and just kind of go over him lightly with my sponge dauber, so that he's kind of different shades, different places. And try to stay away from the middle of his ears because that's actually going to get colored in pink. And then I just kind of went around the edge of him with my sponge dauber as well, so you didn't see too much white. Okay. All right, then I used my basic black marker, colored in his eyes so that they would just pop out a little bit more, and this part of his nose. And I took the soft suede marker and just colored in his nose, like I said, to make it pop out a little bit more. I used the pink Pirouette to color his inside of his ears. And then I used, these 4 colors to do 5 colors to do the flowers. So I did the centers of them first with Daffodil Delight. The camera, yeah. And then I used Melon Mambo to do the large flower at the top. And you can change this up, like I said, if you want to make it more like a boy. You might not even want to use the flowers. You might want to use a fish. I don't know. I used the Cucumber Crush to draw the leaves and the stems. Tempting Turquoise for one of the flowers. Rich Razzleberry for the last flower. And Melon Mambo for the bow. You could actually put the bow in her hair as well if you wanted to do that. I just put it like a bow tie. But might make it look a little more girly. Okay, so everything is colored. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this small piece that you've prepared. You're going to take your little bear and you're going to put him on the card like that. So you're going to line up his shoulder area with the tree trunk. See that? And then down here, you're going to take a little pencil and you're just going to make a tiny mark at the top of his shoulder and down here at the bottom. Okay, you're going to take your paper snips or whatever sharp scissors that you use, and you're just going to kind of make a little hole in there without punching through your finger. And then you're going to cut up along that edge of that tree trunk to your other pencil mark. Okay, so now you have a slit. You're going to take your little bear, come on bear, and you're going to slide him from the back with one arm. It's going to stick out. The other arm is not going to stick out. And we're going to attach him using a little bit of glue. So a little bit of glue underneath. All right, I've got a clog. Hold on 1 second. Okay, and then turn him over on the front and just put a little bit of glue behind his head so it doesn't slip around on you. Okay. All right, now we're going to add the bow. You can use a glue dot for this too if you like working with glue dots. I've just got this glue here, so that's what I'm using. So maybe I'll put the bow in her hair here so that you can see the difference, whether you like it as a bow tie or whether you like it as a bow in her hair. And then with the flower, you're going to add some glue to the front down at the very bottom where the bottom of the stems are, and then just a little tiny bit on the back. You're going to tuck the stem of those flowers right underneath this one arm, like so. Isn't that cute? I just love this card. Thanks, Michelle, for the idea, because it's really cute, 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 cute. Okay, now I'm going to mount that on a piece of Early Espresso that measures 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. Oh, you can also sponge around the edge of that if you want. I haven't been doing that, but it is something that you can do. Okay, so we're just going to set this aside for a second. Then we're going to do our sentiment. So I'm using Peekaboo to Someone New. If I'm not mistaken, it comes out of Sweet, S-U-I-T-E, Sayings. I'm going to stamp it in espresso, Early Espresso. And then I've noticed with this, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because it's on the Whisper White cardstock, but just be a little careful. Don't touch it right away, because the last couple cards I made, it actually smeared a little bit. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to just show you this difference in these two pieces real quick, so you can see the bow in her hair or the bow under her chin. So leave me a comment, let me know which one you like best. I love to hear from people. I think I want to put that bow up just a little bit. Okay. All right, so I think that should be dry. I'm going to take the banner from the Banner Framelits. So you get a whole package of banners. This is actually the second smallest one, is the one that I'm using. Again, I'm going to put it on my magnetic platform. Should work. That on the top. Oop, it slipped. And if you're, like I say, if you're having trouble with it staying in the same spot, just move it around until you find where the magnets work the best. Now that might be a little bit better right there. I'm being a little clumsy, sorry. Okay, is that in the middle? I think so. We're going for it. Put this over the top. And run it through the Big Shot. Pop that out. Oh, messed up. So also want to do this piece of paper, the Early Espresso. It also measures 2 3/4 by 1 1/2. So they actually both measure the same, and you can actually put them through the Big Shot at the same time. I was daydreaming there, I guess, for a minute, and so that didn't go through at the same time, but I'm going to take care of that right now. And pop that out. All right, now you might be wondering why I'm using the same size, but it's because I'm actually going to take this smaller, or the white one, and I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off of every side. I don't have a banner framelit that's that size, and I'm kind of particular about the way they fit together. I don't know. I'm just That's just me, I guess. But so I'm cutting that. Okay, and now when you put it down, it'll have a little bit of a frame all the way around it. But before I attach it, I am going to sponge it. I usually, to do around the edges, oh, here it is. I like to use these sponges. They actually come as whole sponges. They're round, they're about this big, and then I just cut them into little wedges. Easier to handle, and they last a lot longer, obviously. So I'm just going to sponge around this. Okay, like that. Now, if you're making a little girl card, you can also take the pink Pirouette and color inside the letters. Again, just be extra careful not to color like right over the brown marker. It may decide it wants to run a little bit, so just stay off of it as much as you can. So there's a little peekaboo. So you could do that with a boy if you wanted to. You can actually even take a Melon Mambo, and just to add a little bit more dimension, you can go around one side of the letters. Now I'm getting really fancy, but it's okay. I love to color. All right, and we're going to attach that to the back. Put glue on the back and attach it to the other banner. There we go. Okay, and we're going to bring this one back in. We're going to turn it over. We're going to put dimensionals on the back of both. Making a mess. I'm sorry. I'm a messy stamper. What can I say? Yeah, you would not want to see my workspace when I'm creating. Okay, then we're going to bring this card back in. Again, remember, it's a top fold card, so it measures 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And we're going to take this piece. I'm going to glue that right to the card. Now, actually, I think I'm going to use dimensionals. I love dimensionals. I don't know, it just gives it so much more personality when it's just not flat. All the surfaces aren't flat, so I'm going to actually pop this up as well. But keep in mind, you can just use the front of the card. You don't have to make this extra layer if you don't choose to do that. I'm, again, just like I said, adding dimension to the card. Just be careful you don't add so much dimension to it that the post office wants to charge you extra, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to add that. You could even put this on a early espresso background. Then I will add my little bear. So I Made You Fall in Love with the Little Bear. Bear Hugs stamp set. I just love it. It has a lot of cute little sentiments as well. It has a little honey pot and different things. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And this can go somewhere on the bottom. It doesn't have to be exactly where I put it. You could put it all the way to the left, all the way to the right, or smack dab in the middle. Whatever you find you like. I think I like this one here. Sometimes it just depends on what tree trunks I have going on. So, what do you think? Is that not cute? I just love that little bear. And I just think it would make an adorable little welcome baby card. I've got some extra glue on there. I need to get my eraser and erase that off. Okay, so if you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I'll try to answer for you. And if you like this video, I hope that you'll leave me a thumbs up or comment of some sort, letting me know that you've enjoyed it. And I hope that you'll stop back by and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way anytime I post a video, you'll be notified about it through your email. Also, you can go to my blog. I've got a lot of extra stuff on my blog. I've been a demonstrator for let's see, what year is this? 12 years now, and I've been doing my blog for I don't even know how long, at least 5 years. So there's a lot of information out there, and hope you'll stop back again soon. Thanks for stopping by.